Last question for you on a way to rush to go. Beterbiev, Bivol, you watched the fight. Who do you think won the fight?
Yeah, I watched this fight. I think Bivol win this fight.
No.
No.
Not 50-50. One, Beterbiev is 38 years old. Beterbiev has been down.
Yes. Yeah.
Bivol never been down.
Every time. Beterbiev will throw a combination, and right away, Bivol will retaliate with a counter with more volume.
I saw this fight, and I believe that B will win. No. Number 50-50, 1B 38 years old is better. That's the last question for you before you rush to get better before Beal. BF has been down, but he's never been down. Better yet, he'll throw a combo and immediately we'll both reply with additional volume.
Controversial rounds in the later rounds. But I can tell you this. I've had Bivol, because we were watching the fight and we're focusing on it because we knew it was a tough fight. And everybody knows that Beterbiev is very strong and he can hurt you with any punch. But up to the seventh round, I had Bivol winning the fight with his moves. He was moving really well on his feet. He was countering. Of course, he was getting hit because it's a fight. But he will get hit with 1-2 or maybe a hook and a right, and he will come back with a 1, 2, 3, 4, boom again. And then he'll move and boom, jabbing. He was busier with his jab. He was busier with his counters.
Because of his superior ring IQ footwork and defensive abilities, boxing experts predict that Dmitry Bivol will defeat Artur Beterbiev in a rematch. Bivol has an advantage since he can officially control distance counterpunch and evade Beterbiev's power strikes.
I wanna make second fight and I wanna be winner of this fight. What about belts now, which I could see? Before I was so wanted to have these belts and nothing else. But today I want not only just belts, I wanna revenge. I wanna fix what I did before. I wanna win, not just belts. It's not only about belts now.
He is a formidable opponent over 12 rounds because of his endurance, discipline, and flexibility. Controversial rounds in the later rounds. But I can tell you this. I've had B because we're watching the fight and we're paying attention to it because we know it's going to be hard and that the Beterbiev is very strong and can hurt you with any punch. However, up until the 7th round, I had him moving really well on his feet and countering.
In this epic rematch, a first fight that divided opinion. Most, including myself, believed Bivol won it. But you couldn't really argue with Beterbiev getting the decision. Was it too wide on the scores? Yes, it was. Anyway, that's all history. They fight again Feb 22nd in what is no doubt going to be another epic fight. The first fight, again, just to quickly tread back on that, was one of my favourite fights of last year. Contrasting styles, Bull v Matador. Obviously, Beterbiev being the Bull, Matador being Bivol with his fleet-footed, quick hands, flurry of combinations against the heavy-hitting knockout artist, the destruction, wrecking ball that is Artur Beterbiev. I thought that the movement from Bivol was so good early on, and it frustrated, it annoyed Beterbiev throughout lots of that contest, certainly early on. But 10, 11, 12 were big rounds for Beterbiev. How do I see this rematch playing out? Well, when I looked back at that first fight, although I thought Bivol won, I do believe Beterbiev could potentially do better out of the two in the rematch.
Of course, he was getting hit because he's in the fight, but he would get hit with a 1-2 or maybe a hook in the right. And then he would move and boom, jab. He was busier with his jab. In the lead up to the rematch, Bivol seems focused on correcting the mistakes he made in the first fight, noting that it's not only about the title anymore.
And we could be so lucky that we see a trilogy. And I mentioned pot of gold. Where does the winner go? Well, the winner will reign supreme in the light heavyweight division. This is about legacy, though. This is about really cementing yourself as arguably the best light heavyweight that's ever graced the sport of boxing. And then there's opportunities for the winner, obviously. David Benavidez looks so good in defeating Morrell. I mean, this man, is a beast. He does not stop throwing punches. A little unorthodox, I think, at times when he lets his shots go. But he's got a great chin, though he was dropped against Morel, more off balance. He's got a great chin. Like I say, he's a unit. He's huge.
His attitude now points to a deeper desire for redemption. Boxing analysts view this rematch as an epic showdown after a first fight that divided opinions. Many, including the speaker, believe that Val won, but Beterbiev's decision wasn't unreasonable. I want to make a second fight and win this one. But what about bells? I was so desperate to have this bells and nothing else before, but today I want more than just bells. I want to get revenge. I want to fix what I did before. Styles Bowles' rapid hand combinations and Beterbiev's unwavering strength were contrasted in the first fight.
Bivol has a lot of skills, man. He's a very talented boxer. Beterbiev has the power. I felt like Bivol won at least 7 rounds. You know, he controlled most of the fight. And what you saying as he was punishing, whatever, I felt like he was fighting like he knew he was losing. He was a guy that was trying to get back in the fight.
Okay.
And most times I don't agree. Well, I'm gonna say most times, but sometimes I don't agree with the commentating. But I felt like he was definitely down and needed a knockout to win. But you know, he definitely hurt Bivol. You could see some of those shots, even though they weren't clean shots, they were affecting him. And you gotta give him credit for the power that he has, and also the resilience to just keep fighting to the end of the fight. But it wasn't many clean shots. He was catching them with, like, you know, short uppercuts and the jabs and everything, but those punches were hurting him. So I wanted Beterbiev to win, but I felt like Bivol, you know, because there's a scoring system, he was the winner of the fight. But if boxing was like, you know, whoever's getting their ass beat at the end, like a real fight.
Yeah.
But that ain't how it worked.
Yeah.
Most people, including myself, thought Bivol won the first fight in this epic rematch, but you couldn't really argue with BB about receiving the decision since the scores were too wide. Well, they fought again, and that's history. To recap, the first fight of February 22nd, which is undoubtedly going to be another epic fight.
He was busier with his counters. He would block and counter every time. Beterbiev would throw a combination, and right away Bivol will retaliate with a counter with more volume. So in the later rounds, obviously Bivol, you know, had a really strong fighter coming forward at him. He sort of slowed down. He got tired. Maybe three rounds, maybe 4 rounds. And if I had to judge the fight, I saw it for Bivol, not because he's part of my team in a way, because all these fighters are the same team, same management, and considered part of the same team. But I saw the fight. I gave Bivol at least 7 rounds. 8, 7, 8 rounds I gave to Bivol, honestly.
So worst case,
I saw him win. Worst case, 7 rounds. But I gave him 7 rounds.
do you feel like there has to be more scrutiny on the type of judges? Because
Definitely.
It doesn't matter what people see, it's what those 3 people see. And sometimes you have judges that favor the pressure, and then there's others that favor the boxers. Do you feel?
Not only that, there are judges that focus more on the later rounds. You know, they really don't do much. They don't focus much on the early rounds, only on the later rounds.
Was one of my favorite fights of the previous year. It contrasted Styles Ball versus Matador, with Baia clearly being the ball and Matador being Bivol with his fleet-footed quick hands flurry of combinations against the heavy-hitting knockout ball that is era BBV. When I look back at that first fight, I thought Bivol's movement was excellent early on.
It's a very unique style. I would have to give Dmitry Bivol the advantage here a little bit because he has better footwork, you know. Beterbiev kind of like just stalks you down, you know, and with Bivol, he's just like constantly bam, 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 you know. I love that. He's a good boxer, man, with power. And he's got skill up here. It's a tough fight to call. But I'm gonna have to give Dmitry the advantage. I think it's all about respect in the first few rounds. You know, how he's gonna take his punch if he has a chin. I mean, I think Beterbiev has a better chin than Dmitry Bivol. For some reason, I just feel that. I don't know if it's true, but if Dmitry Bivol can catch him, offset him, get him off balance with his footwork, I mean, yeah, it could be a long night for Beterbiev.
And it frustrated and annoyed BV throughout much of that contest. However, rounds 10, 11, 12 were crucial for PBV, so I don't think this rematch will go well. Although I think Bivol won, I do think PBV could do better in the rematch because Bivol controlled the early rounds.
One, are you happy with an immediate rematch, or would you have preferred a little bit more time to rest?
No, I'm so appreciate that I have the chance, and I cannot let myself to think that it's not good time, or it's not good this, that. No, I'm happy that I have a chance. Not too much people has a chance and to have rematch, but I have it, and I'm glad.
So, going back to the last fight, Dmitry, when I saw you that Sunday, you had said that you were going to go and see Turkey and Beterbiev about the rematch, and then you guys posted a photo. You guys were together. I'm just curious, like, how was that seeing Beterbiev the day after the fight?
That's fine, just normal, like before the fight, the same.
Did you guys talk? Like, what'd you tell him?
No, we didn't talk. We talk only with His Excellency.
Oh, wow, okay. So it wasn't weird, it wasn't awkward.
It's something new, I didn't have before in this situation, but it was fine. It was like men talk, It's I like what His Excellency did, that he invited both of us and he asked, do you want rematch? And we said yeah.
So speaking of the rematch, Dmitry, just overall, what do you think about this rematch, and how different of a fight do you think it will be this second time around?
I think it will be a little bit different, and I think it will be more interesting for the fans because we already know each other, and it's very soon we could prepare ourselves better for this rematch.
How many times have you seen the first fight already?
Сколько раз я пересматривал бой? Maybe 2 times.